Hello, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of Unlocking Tampa Bay. Strawberry season is in full swing, and our partners are rolling out the red carpet with some strawberry-inspired treats you can try in Tampa Bay. Visit the iconic Alessi Bakery for their delicious strawberry shortcake, strawberry-flavored cupcakes, or their classic chocolate-dipped strawberries. Quench your thirst with a crisp honeymoon lager while enjoying refreshing waterfront views at Eulalie, or visit one of the 5 Chill Bros locations to cool down with their classic all-natural strawberry ice cream. On this episode of Unlocking Tampa Bay, we talk with 2 of our partners offering a diverse array of products creatively inspired by this delicious fruit. I'm Santiago C. Carrata, President and CEO of Visit Tampa Bay. Thanks for joining us, and as usual, take it away, Serena.
Thank you so much, Santiago. I am Serena Vizan, and you are watching Unlocking Tampa Bay, a show where we uncover the treasures of this beautiful city. And on this episode, we are focusing on National Women's History Month and strawberry season. And what a sweeter way than to kick off the show with Danielle Thibodeau. You are the owner of the Wicked Sweet Sugar Boutique.
Correct.
Danielle, now, are you so impressed too? I got that out just like that.
It was really impressive.
No, I'm joking. But the Wicked Sweet Sugar Boutique. Mm-hmm. So when I first hear that name, I think maybe clothing, but you're all about desserts and you put a lot of effort into the name.
Yep. So definitely wanted that name to be sing-songy. And the reason for boutique is we wanted it to sound a little bit more high class than just bakery, you know?
And you have how many baked goods? I mean, you have so many baked goods that we're going to delve into.
Yeah, we've got easily a dozen different kind of category things to choose from. And then within that, cupcakes specifically, we've got easily a dozen flavors. Macarons, we have a dozen flavors at a time. Cookies, likewise, and the list goes on and on.
Well, we're going to go back into that. Okay. But let's begin with the boutique. So the boutique itself is located in Ybor City.
Yep.
And tell us how it's so interesting how you have had this, but in a different state, and you brought it here. Yep. Tell us your journey.
Yes. So I'm actually from New Hampshire, and I had my storefront up there for about 10 years and then decided to come down here. And I do have some history with Tampa, but decided let's start the business down here in the Sunshine State and don't have to worry about snow anymore and whatnot.
And what's the history about it is that 15 years ago, you went to the University of Tampa.
Correct. Yeah.
And from New Hampshire, you go to the University of Tampa.
I don't want to do that math on that. If we don't know, it could be longer than that, but we're just going to go with that it's 15 years ago was University of Tampa. Yeah.
But isn't that something that it had such an indelible mark on you? So
yeah, for sure.
You go back to your home state, yep. And then you think, okay, I remember Tampa, maybe I'll go back there. But then you come back here yeah. And wowzer.
Yeah, totally different.
Right?
Completely different. Good, very different, but completely different. Yeah, Sparkman Wharf. That was not a thing. That was not a thing at all.
It is. It's so wonderful to see it grow so much, and you know the aspects of tourism and everything that we highlight now in Tampa.
Yeah.
So when you move your boutique, why did you choose the location in Ybor?
So my very first location, we had 2 at separate times. The very first location that we had was in a very old building. It was one of the oldest buildings actually in Hampton, New Hampshire. It was well over 100 years old. So it just kind of made sense as we're looking around Tampa. Where are we going to go? We land on 7th Ave. Here's this also incredibly old historic building. So there's kind of a little bit of an homage to the original location, the brick showing and the super high ceilings and the original wood showing. So yeah, it just kind of felt like home.
I know, how beautiful.
Serendipity, right?
Yes, serendipity is my favorite word. Yeah. Happy accident.
Yeah.
So you opened your doors not too long ago.
Yeah, mid-December.
And so how has it been going so far?
It's been fantastic. Yeah, we got a good eclectic range of people that come in from tourists and the locals, and it's been awesome. Custom order stuff. Yeah.
And so, when we talk about tourism, because this is Visit Tampa Bay,
right.
I love, though, when you share that you see people coming in to your boutique from not only from the locals, but from all over, even all over the state, right?
Yeah.
So do you have any special stories or experiences of how people have found you?
Oh my God, we've had people from out of country too. That's always the most interesting when you
Wow.
see we've had people from France, we've had people from Germany, I don't even know the long list of different countries, and they come in, whether it be on a cruise ship or they're just visiting, and they stumbled upon Ybor. But as far as fascinating stories, not necessarily, but they're from everywhere. It's always amazing that Ybor is such a tiny little area, and these people found it.
And so with people finding it, I mean, you know, as you shared, you were here 15 years or so time ago, right? So Tampa really, I mean, we're on the global map, on the global map.
Yeah.
How do you think your store, just share about Tampa though, like how do you think we have achieved that?
Oh my goodness. There's such a range of improvements happening in the city, and it seems to be tapping into what everybody wants to see, that there's a little bit of everything for everybody, and everyone that's constructing is kind of listening to that criticism, the critiques on that and whatnot. So that definitely helps.
It's wonderful. I mean, we're breaking records. We're breaking
for
records.
Sure.
So within the boutique, do you have anything special that is, you know, like Tampa Bay? I know you have something from New Hampshire that's your absolute favorite. So talk about some of your favorite things.
Yeah, so New Hampshire stuff, had to do the New England stuff. So we've got whoopie pies, and those are some of the most popular things that we sell right now. And then, of course, we have cookie whoopies, so the cookie version of the whoopie pie. But as far as Tampa Bay stuff, we have to have guava. You have to have guava stuff. So the guava and cheese macaron is one of our most popular ones. We always try to have it on the menu. And then, of course, we're constantly rotating out our flavors every week for macarons and cupcake and really everything. We try to rotate through depending on theme and special kind of day and special stuff going on in the city.
Well, speaking of themes, you know, we kicked off the show by talking about this is also strawberry season.
Indeed.
So you did a whole theme week for strawberry season.
Yep, we did. Yeah, and it was a little difficult to not have every single thing strawberry related. So we really had to put effort into breaking up the menu a little bit so that not everything is strawberry, but we even had a strawberry creme brulee. So yeah, we had, you name it, our drinks were strawberry themed, the cupcakes heavy on strawberry, the macarons heavy on the strawberry. But it was very, very popular. People definitely go crazy for strawberries around here.
Well, you know, it's interesting because talking about the global impact and, you know, the national impact, we are known for strawberry season. So one of the many things we're known for, did you find then people were coming into the Wicked Sweet Sugar Boutique looking for strawberry themed items?
If they weren't specifically, they were definitely happy that they stumbled upon it. So the local people that follow us on Facebook on the day-to-day knew that it was upon them. So that was a fantastic thing. And the week leading up to it, when we told people Strawberry Festival next week, we're like, oh yeah, I'm in it. I'm all for it. So
do you have any, like, how many pounds do you sell a week? Do you know, or how many cookies or how many desserts? Or
so as far as pounds, I have no idea. But we do easily like 30 dozen cupcakes, 30 dozen macarons every week. Yeah. And that's not including custom order stuff. So if we have custom order, or we have, maybe it's like this weekend, we know it's going to be a little bit busier, and we'll amp up production for that kind of stuff.
And do you make everything in-house? So, and at the Ybor location?
Yeah. Yep. Everything is made from scratch, small batch. That's our thing. That's our gig, is small batch. So love is put into every single time we turn that mixer on. Yeah.
Speaking of love, you know, we're also talking about National Women's History Month. And I said to you, so Danielle, who is the woman that you look up to the most? And you said, your mom. That's so
yeah, I would say my mom.
So, you know, with a woman-inspired business, and clearly you're very successful. Congratulations. We're so happy for you. So I want to talk about that and how you started being an entrepreneur when you were 25, but it was your mother, right? Like, it's giving me goosebumps, that encouraged you. Share the story and how she's always been such an inspiration.
Yeah, my mom has always been the hard worker in the family. As long as I can remember having memories, she was had a daycare at home. She was doing side gigs to try and make extra money. She was going to school for nursing while holding the full-time job. So she definitely laid the groundwork for work your butt off, make it happen. And when I started doing the at-home baking thing, when we found our first location in the old building, we saw the for rent sign, and it was kind of like a, should we not? And my mom said, what's the worst that's going to happen? Let's just do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
and that inspiration continues to this day.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because, Jimmy Carter was the first one that nationally recognized National Women's History Week, and then it went through Congress and, all of that.
A whole month now.
Yes, now it's a whole month. It changed from a week, from a day, for a week, So what does that say to you, though, as a female entrepreneur? What words of encouragement do you personally have? And have you seen more women-owned businesses?
Yeah, I definitely have seen a lot more woman-owned business. I mean, even just this morning, we were open for just a couple of minutes before I had to head out, and 2 woman-owned entrepreneurs came in and introduced themselves to me. So we're taking over Tampa is what's happening. We're taking over Tampa. As far as words of inspiration, just go for it. There really is, like my mom said, what's the worst that's going to happen? You fail? So what? You learn stuff from failing, That's my motivation for you.
So do you feel, and I love it too. I mean, I'm taking that advice, So, I mean, I'm a female entrepreneur myself. What do you think that says about the city of Tampa as well? Because we're such an inclusive community.
Yeah.
What message does that send?
Oh my God. I would have said just that itself, that Tampa is really all inclusive. It's one of the huge reasons why we wanted to move down here, is there's just so much of an open environment, and there's so much more open-mindedness and whatnot. So it would never have even crossed my mind of how is a woman-owned business going to be perceived down here. That wasn't even a second thought for me. So that's a good thing. That means that Tampa's on the right track with all of that.
I think so as well, because it does. It shows the world, we welcome you with open arms.
Yeah, for sure.
So where would you like to see your boutique go? What are your dreams for the future?
Yeah, that is a great question. I'm still trying to figure that out completely. I'd love to have at least one other location and or a bigger kitchen to work from. But I don't necessarily want to see it like on every corner. I want us to stay. Boutique is really the name of the game. We want to stay small. We don't want to franchise. We like being involved. I like having my hands dirty, and I like my team behind me, that they know exactly what's going on every single day. And you don't really get that when you start expanding out too much. So I think I want to kind of stay small.
Oh,
yeah.
And speaking of the boutique theme, though, and everything is made from your kitchen, and you said maybe a larger kitchen.
Yeah.
What time do you guys start baking? I mean, do you are you constantly baking 24 hours?
That's what it feels like sometimes. That's what it feels like. So I have a head baker that takes care of the early morning stuff because I'm more the night owl, and I'm trying to change that so bad. I'm the one that's going to be there until like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, decorating cakes, doing all of that stuff. She'll be there at 7 o'clock in the morning is usually the earliest. Holidays, who knows? Could be a 24-hour kind of thing. But 7 o'clock, she's in there dropping cupcakes for the day and getting stuff ready for the day.
It's fantastic, though, that you have such a balanced team, and you lead this team.
Yeah.
So for people who are like, oh, I can't get into Ybor City, or I want to go to Ybor City, they can, as you shared, custom order. Talk to us about that. So birthday cakes, bridal showers.
Oh yeah.
Tell us about that and how we find you.
So if you can't get into Ybor, the custom order stuff is definitely where it's at. Email, use the contact form online, but you name it, baby shower, bachelorette party. We have done vasectomy themed. We have done, you name the theme. There is something to be celebrated in some kind of way. But yeah, you can email out to me, and we'll do a little back and forth with what can we make for you. If you need something delivered, we can deliver it to you. You don't even have to step foot in the shop if you don't want to.
So what's the easiest way to find you?
Website is wickedsweetfl.com.
wickedsweetfl.com. Okay, so,
Exactly.
and nowadays, honestly, with search engines, you just
Oh
search
my
it,
God,
it takes
yeah.
you right to,
Yeah,
you
for
right
sure.
to the site. It's
Exactly.
fantastic.
That's even
it's fantastic.
tell people to DoorDash and, how do we find you on DoorDash kind of thing. Just Google a business name, we come up.
So Danielle, where exactly are you located? What's the physical address there?
Sure. The address is 2209 East 7th Ave. So we are just east of the Columbia restaurant.
So pretty easy to find.
Super easy. So much
that's
parking. So much parking.
And that's right. It's a historic landmark.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, is there anything specifically that you are known for?
Probably decorated cookies is where my claim to fame is kind of leading to. I love all the cakes and whatnot, but decorated cookies, man, I can have a lot of fun with decorated cookies and painting on them, and I could probably spend easily a week doing them.
Really?
Yeah.
And so are these all, are they sugar cookies? Are they all different types of cookies?
Yeah, so they're just your basic rollout sugar cookie kind of stuff, and we've got a delicious frosting, royal icing that goes on top of them. And all of it is completely handmade. Sometimes we have to hand cut some designs because regardless of having hundreds of cookie cutters, I still do not have all of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure people also may ask when you do some of your custom orders, like specific types of things.
Exactly. The biggest thing is the design. Can we do the XYZ design? So there's nothing too crazy that's going on in the cookie world. It's more just how realistic can you paint? How realistic can you pipe something now? That's the pushing the limits with the cookie world right now.
So if someone asks you to make a specific cookie or design, are you like, bring it on?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah. I don't like copying anybody's designs, verbatim, but it's nice to know what the customer is looking for to work off of. And yeah, I look at it as a challenge. Bring it on.
I know Halloween you shared with me is your most favorite season, but do you have a favorite design of all designs?
Oh my God. Anything that is honestly the gorier, the better. I'm that person with horror movies and whatnot. I have some cakes that go under that category as well. But Halloween cookies, give me horror movie theme stuff and I'm all about it. Give me shark related stuff. I'm all about it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So of course that is Wicked Sweet, but it's not just the sweets or the pastries that you have there.
Right.
Your boutique goes beyond.
Oh yeah.
Share some of the other things.
Yes, so we've got all kinds of drinks too. So we have a full coffee menu, and the hot chocolate that we make is from scratch. We make our own hot cocoa mix. It's like real cocoa and sugar and whatnot. But we have energy drinks that are made in-house, and we always have themed flavors as well. We have a full espresso menu, so you can get all of that fun stuff as well. But yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm addicted to caffeine. So
you have to be.
You have to be,
you
right?
Have to be.
Now, I would be remiss if I did not ask you this question. Have you always wanted to bake, and how did it start? And you definitely have a favorite.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I am all over the place. So I actually went to school for marine biology at University of Tampa.
From marine biology to baker.
Oh, it's more extensive than that. I can really go down a rabbit hole if you want, between graphic design, and then I bounced to interior design and architecture, and my model making classes are the reason why I like working with my hands so much. We had to make a lot of little models and dioramas and stuff. So when cake decorating kind of was a main theme on TV, came across it, said, why not? I'll make a cake. And the rest is history. It was just fun. And I liked people's reaction. You make something over the top or something delicious or something that smells really good, and everybody is just like, oh my God. How can you not get addicted to that feeling?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I really liked what you shared earlier about Women's History Month, that, you take all your life experiences, and if you're passionate about it, you're going to succeed.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
So I want to congratulate you too. You're engaged to get married. Will you be making your own wedding cake?
So many people ask this. We have been engaged forever. So when the day comes for us to make it official, we're probably just going to run away to Bora Bora.
And have someone else make your cake.
Exactly. Leave that to someone else. No, thank you.
Well, I would encourage people, though, out there for any special celebration, of course, the Wicked Sweet Sugar Boutique. And we just love highlighting businesses, smart women, everybody on this show. So, Danielle, such a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And continuing the conversation on Unlocking Tampa Bay, we now welcome Josie Curci with Fat Beet Farms. Love the name, Josie. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. So we just talked to Danielle, and we were sharing this episode is about strawberry season as well as honoring National Women's History Month, and how sweet. Your mom is the owner of this farm. It's a family-owned farm. She is also your inspiration.
Yes.
So tell us some history about the farm.
Yeah, so just a little background of the farm as a whole. So my parents, they bought the property as a retirement project. Turned out to be no retirement at all for either one of them. But my dad was always in the restaurant industry, and he wanted kind of like a legacy project or something really to just continue on with. So when they bought the property, they wanted kind of like a little restaurant on the front of the property with a little bit of a farm and just kind of something to keep doing in their retirement. And it very quickly completely spiraled out of control. And now we're a really big farm with a cafe and a marketplace and all these different bits and pieces. But he got it originally because my mom had always grew up on a farm. So the farming was her piece. And then he is a chef by trade. He's opened up a couple different restaurants in the area. So the restaurant was his piece. So it's kind of like their new baby together. Again, not very much retiring. He works on the dish pit really often. My mom's always driving around on the tractor, but it's really a labor of love. And all my siblings work there too, so it's really nice.
And that's what I was going to ask you. And what a beautiful story. So tell us about what you do at the farm and how all your siblings also are working on the farm.
Yeah, so we have a bunch of different moving parts and pieces. I typically stay on the farm side of things, so making sure we're growing everything. We also have a big nonprofit, so I help with that, doing field trips, tours, any kind of events, educational classes, nutrition classes, cooking classes, things like that. And then my older sister, she runs the cafe and bakery, so we have a full bakery in the cafe as well, so baking all the breads and everything for the sandwiches and making all the food. We also have a full a full events program. So weddings, corporate events. I'm trying to think of what else. Baby showers, things like that.
Everything, right?
Yes,
and
everything.
And speaking of weddings, so your wedding you kicked off basically the weddings at the farm. Let's save that though for a minute because let's talk about the farm itself though. Where exactly is it located? And tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, so we are technically Tampa, but we're right on the border of we're right on the border of Oldsmar. We're on Hillsborough Avenue. So we have a really high volume area, which is really great for us because we have a lot of cars that pass us. We're literally a turn right off Hillsborough. It doesn't look like much in the front, but our property actually is kind of like a long skinny piece, and we go all the way back to Tampa Bay. So the south side of our property is 700 feet of shoreline on Tampa Bay, which gives us the most spectacular little ecosystem because we have, when hurricanes come, we see that water, but also we're really cognizant of everything that we're doing and growing sustainably because any fertilizer or anything we're putting in the soil will end up in the bay. So we've really made it our mission to try to educate on growing sustainably and using regenerative agriculture practices to make sure that we're kind of leaving our shoreline in an even better place for the environment than when we found the property.
Okay, guys, can you tell that Josie loves the farm? And I promise the viewers we're going to talk about the wedding, but I promise I'm not going to let that go. So you do all of these programs, and I know you also work with the school system.
Yes.
That's wonderful. So tell us then, on a tourism, because this is Visit Tampa Bay. Visit Tampa Bay. So from a tourism standpoint, you guys are now seeing not just the locals, a lot of tourists coming through.
Definitely.
Can you share some of that with us?
Yeah, for sure. So typically in an average month, I would say we do approximately 10 field trips, but then we're doing probably about 15 tours. That's public tours. We also do private tours. And on our public tours, we've seen a big shift in the last couple months of a lot of locals, a lot of our regulars that just really want to see kind of the farming operations. And now, Serena, as I told you, we see so many, almost our entire public tour is just tourists that are coming in from out of town. Because I'll always ask, hey guys, what are you doing here? Where are you here from? Have you been here before? And I have so many people that are, we're from out of town, or we're visiting. We saw you guys. We wanted to come check it out, which blows my mind. I don't really understand why they want to see it. But
So all the people that hear about the farm, how do you think they are hearing about it?
We're not really sure. We definitely try to get our name out there as much as possible, but we've seen a lot of it is really word of mouth. We have people that, they come on vacation, or their kids live here and they've been once and they want to come back again and again and again, or somebody's been on a tour and they loved it, so they want to bring people out. So really, from what we've seen, it's mainly word of mouth, which is kind of crazy. We haven't done any crazy marketing or anything like that. We definitely need to, but it really seems like it's a lot of just friends telling friends or family and all those things.
I mean, I just feel like this whole area, we have a global stamp, and the image that we're projecting clearly is resonating, right, with the world. So with so many people coming to see you, the farm, Tampa, what do you think that says about our community?
I mean, I can't speak more highly about Tampa. My whole family, we've all been here forever. I was born and raised here. Seeing what Tampa has become in the last couple years is truly mind-boggling. Every time I live really close to here, and every time I drive through the downtown and see all the hustle and bustle, it's just crazy to see. So I definitely think you can say that Tampa is blown up. I mean, tourism alone, if you talk to people and see how many people are coming in. My husband actually works in the hotel industry, so he's really in the know with all of those things, and seeing all of his clientele come back year after year after year, and it's been absolutely blowing up the last couple years with tourism and people moving here. So Tampa's crazy.
And it's so crazy. Wonderful. And, with your farm, as you said, you not only support the local community with and young kids with, entrepreneurships and all of that, but it's a female-owned business. We go back to your mom. Go back to your mom. Supporting a lot of other businesses.
Yes.
Can you share more on that, and how, it must be so wonderful, right, for you to see. It's giving me goosebumps right now, like how your farm, also your husband being in the hotel business, like talk about the collaboration and how that helps our community.
Yeah, it's amazing. We definitely have a lot of partners. We've met some amazing people along the way. I always say that whenever we've hit any kind of roadblock, and we're like, oh my gosh, we've found this problem and it doesn't seem like there's a solution to it, somebody has just been placed magically in front of us that's a local business or somebody in the community that has really kind of changed our perspective on things and let us do things a lot differently. We have a partnership with the Clearwater Marine Aquarium. They give us their fish to help us with fertilizer and things like that. We have a couple different florists in the area that we work with that help us with our flowers. And we have a bunch of different people that'll give us their food waste, which is amazing, so we can keep that out of the landfill and turn that into fertilizer for the next season. We talk to a lot of different farmers that'll help us bring in different produce items that we can't grow, or we don't really like to do the meat thing. So we have a bunch of different companies that we bring in that are all local people, and it's really important to us to not only grow sustainably and really have the earth in mind as our bottom line, but also be really interacting with the local community as much as possible, not just for our customers, but also just the local businesses, and kind of work them in. We're always trying to do markets and include them in the best way we can and as much as we can to try to support them, because we've been supported so much by the local community that it's really important to us.
And I know you're, as you mentioned, preserving the earth and preserving is a huge message on your part. And honestly, you guys are putting words into action.
We're trying to.
Yes,
we're really trying to. Blood, sweat, and tears.
So speaking of seasons, and this show is also about strawberry season.
Yes.
So have you guys? Do you grow strawberries? You don't grow strawberries.
We don't grow strawberries. we sorry, we do not. There's a bunch of amazing local farms that do grow strawberries, so go get your strawberries from them. But we have an awesome bakery, and they do a killer strawberry shortcake. We bring our strawberries in from Plant City, so every now and again we'll go out there and get as many strawberries as we can from Plant City, and then we make strawberry shortcake. But unfortunately, that's just
I just think
something we don't tackle right now.
Well, no, I just think it's wonderful. And you know what you talked about, you're a business supporting other businesses. So you're a farm supporting other farms, and you bring the strawberries in, and you talked about the shortcake. I want to talk about that a little bit too, because it's beautiful there. People can go there to talk about, have lunch, eat in the bakery. Let's delve into that a little bit more.
Yeah, so just kind of like our typical customer, if they're coming out, we have a big cafe, or it's not that big, it's actually fairly small, a cafe and bakery where you can get sandwiches. We make all of our meats in-house. We don't use any cold cuts. We use no preservatives in any of the meat, so we're making all of our meats in-house. We have all of the lettuce for all of our salads is grown on site. As many of the vegetables as we can are also grown on site. Soups, a full pastry counter, like so many. We always say, Dad, that's a little too many pastries. We might need to slow down a little bit because he loves his sweets. So we have a full bakery. All the breads are baked there. And we just keep making as much as possible. So you can get soups, sandwiches, salads, kind of all that good stuff. Eat at our cafe, have a tour afterwards if you want to really just be able to walk through the property and be able to see the tour and how we're growing things. That's a really big thing for us, is we're growing a lot of different things that grow well in Florida, which not that many things that people are used to buying in the supermarket grow well in our climate. So we have a lot of really cool, funky stuff that you necessarily might not be able to get at the grocery store, but you could put it in your backyard and have guavas almost all year round if you wanted to. So our big thing is we want to teach not only tourists coming in, but also Floridians, what can we grow here? How can we grow things here?
And you open the question that we must ask. What are some things that are unique things that grow on the farm?
Yeah, so we have our food forest, which I think that's probably where the biggest culmination of the really unique stuff is that we have. So one of my favorites that we have, it's called a black sapote. It's also known as chocolate pudding fruit. So you can cut it open.
Chocolate pudding fruit.
I know, it's so good. It looks just like chocolate pudding. It tastes, I would say, more like a squashy banana, but it has the same consistency as chocolate pudding. We have something called Suriname cherries that our bakers fight over every time we have a Suriname cherry blossom. They are just running for them. It's like a little cherry that's shaped like a star. It has the flavor of cherry, but it almost has the crunch and the consistency and the flavor of like a bell pepper, which is very interesting. And then my mom is a freak for our Jamaican cherries, which is something else. It tastes like Fruit Loops. It's so good. And we have a bunch of these different trees that just grow really well. Bananas, papayas, guavas, those are just something we always have around. Chaya is one of our things that we have planted everywhere, and it's actually a Native American tree spinach. So you can put it in your backyard, harvest the leaves off, and you can have spinach almost year round. It does contain a little bit of cyanide, so you have to cook it. You have to cook it.
You heard it here.
No chaya salads. And those are just some of our trees. But then we have a bunch of other crops that we've just learned to grow really well. We'll do different types of broccoli and cabbages, lots of different lettuces, but definitely in our food forest is where we have like the really cool, funky stuff that nobody up north can grow. You won't see us growing apples, but we can grow all those really cool things.
You know, one of my, I'm so passionate about being a journalist, hosting this show and learning new things. And I did not know any of this. So thank you for educating all of us. So let me ask you, with the farm, what are the hours there then? If someone's interested in visiting or, having a meal, and what's the best way you can, get in contact with you?
Yeah, awesome. So you don't need to you can just come out whenever. We are open. It's 10 to 5 on Wednesday through Friday. And then the weekends we're open 9 to 4. And then we do public tours typically every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sometimes there's events or things going on that it's not always like that, but typically it's always Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that we're going to be doing public tours.
And are they scheduled tours or so?
You can head to our website, sign up online, walk up. We can just have you walk on a tour as well, which a lot of people do.
And what is the website?
fatbeetfarm.com.
Fatbeetfarm.com. Don't worry, guys. I have not forgot about the wedding because, oh my gosh. So now you do all of these events and you do all of these great things because the farm started how many years ago?
I think it's probably like 6 or 7 now that we got the property. We've really only been in operation or open to the public for probably 3 years. We had the property. We started digging. We had a lot of sandy soil that took a long time for us to really build up our soil. We dug one well and 15 more, and they all came up salt water, so we had to put in rain collection. So it took us a really long time to really get the farm going and growing where we needed it to grow. And then we opened up probably like 3 years ago to the
I
public.
ask you that because how long have you been married now?
2 years.
Okay, so 2 years.
2 years,
So
yes.
you are also, you know how your mom has been such an inspiration to you. What an inspiration you are to other female entrepreneurs out there.
you.
So you say, you know what? We can do weddings here. We can do events here. Your mom, you guys work together and you throw the first wedding. Again, goosebumps. Yours at the farm.
Yes. I'm sure that it wasn't that easy. It was definitely lots of moving parts and pieces. We had a barn there and we just kind of retrofitted it a little bit to make it work. And now we've done a couple weddings. We've got a couple more under our belt. But it's been such a wild ride. It was kind of the kickstart that we needed to really be confident in launching our events program. And now since we kind of did that and we've really been pushing on the gas with events, it's been a great opportunity for us as kind of a family that's grown up in the restaurant industry. Farming was kind of secondary, and now we're able to really let that kind of hospitality side completely shine. And as I told you before, we're way too passionate about, the quality of food and all those things and making sure that everybody has an unbelievable experience when they have an event there. We care a lot, which is a good thing, but it's been really, really fun to add that next piece to the puzzle. And as I mentioned before, the reason we named it Fat Beet Farm is we wanted people to come and enjoy, have the community come out and enjoy farming. And it's something that we want to make sure that everybody really has fun at. So that's been kind of the last piece to the puzzle is listen to those fat beats music.
Well, that's what, I love the story so much because here you are. You have a very successful, farm, a wonderful family, and you had the faith of saying about your own wedding, all right, we're going to do events here. We'll kickstart it with mine. I think I really, really think that says a lot. A lot. You guys certainly put, again, words into action.
Thank you so much.
And if you don't mind me sharing as well, here, our team would like to congratulate you as well because you're having a baby.
Yes, yeah, the first farm baby.
And that, again, can open up, I'm sure, so many more events.
Yes.
We're talking baby showers. I know you've done some, right? But first birthday parties, second birthday parties, third birthday parties.
Exactly. He's just gonna. It's like paid. It's easy labor because he'll be a part of doing all the birthday parties for everybody. We'll have him be a part of the fun, which is great.
And you can encourage other people to right to have their parties there and have more, celebrations.
It is. It's great for us because we always love having the kids out for birthday parties. We're doing another summer camp this year, and we just love having the kids out. So it's nice to kind of have a family member that's under the age that's old enough to come.
What would your dream, Josie, be for the farm?
For the farm, I mean, we really just want to keep going on the trajectory that we're on and, inspire more people to be doing what we're doing. We don't want to be the only farm-to-table restaurant in Tampa. We want to keep having more people in the community kind of be replicating what we're doing for a piece and learning and have some people put a black sapote tree in their backyard and really have a lot of people come out and learn the importance of eating locally and supporting our community, not just with all of these events and things, but by what's on our plate and really be eating the way that is better for the earth and it's also better for us. The most amazing thing about Tampa Bay is we have so much shoreline. We're all on the water. There's so much water around us that it's really, really important to us that the environment is taken care of. And we do that with how we grow and the food and not using fertilizers and trying to take waste from our partners in the community and putting them back in the soil. So it's really important to us to kind of keep that mission moving forward to protect our environment and educate the community on how they can do it and have a lot of fun and party along the way. Yeah, exactly.
And would you have a message maybe to viewers and listeners out there to encourage other people, throughout the world really to visit Tampa Bay?
Yes, everybody should be visiting Tampa Bay. I mean, we're not just the farm is a unique ecosystem, but Tampa Bay is such a unique ecosystem. We have a city that's right on the bay. We have beautiful beaches. We have an amazing coastline. We have so much fun. Our sports teams are just killing it.
I know, it's
they're
fantastic.
really killing it. So there's so much to offer to anybody that comes to visit us that come visit Tampa Bay and then stop for a tour at the farm.
Josie, clearly what a beautiful family, what a beautiful story, and we so appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on Unlocking Tampa Bay. And we could not do this without our partners. So if you're interested in becoming a partner or learning more about the treasures in our beautiful city, just head to visitTampaBay.com. On behalf of President and CEO Santiago Carrata, I'm Serena Fazan, and you've been watching Unlocking Tampa Bay.